Hey guys, it's Nick, and we are live for this week's Windy City Hockey Live. What's up, Ryan? And as you can see right there, we are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We hit it on July 4th, and then it fell back down to the 986 subscriber mark. We're now only 11 subscribers away. Let's get to that ultimate goal tonight and hit 1K on the live stream, as on Wednesday is the official 5th anniversary of the YouTube channel, and we may have something special coming on the 5th anniversary for the channel. So I want to have you guys help me out. Let's reach 1K on this stream, and we'll have something special coming this Wednesday. Thanks, Ryan. Blackhawks won the DeBrincat trade. Looks like Ottawa traded Cat to the Wings. Yeah, I was going to talk about that today, but first off, welcome to the stream, Skylar. It's good to see you in the chat. But yeah, help me guys, help me out. Let's get the channel to 1,000 subscribers in this stream. It will be an amazing feat if you can help, because I really am hoping we can hit 1K tonight on stream. Sorry about my phone, guys. Let me turn that volume down, because that's... Why is my phone wanting to play a baseball game? I don't want to watch baseball on my phone. Looks like the All-Star game for the MLB is playing. But yeah, it should be a fun day. Fun stream here tonight. Let's try and reach 1K on stream. It will be an awesome feat if we can do so. Oh, it's a home run derby. Okay. How are you doing, Jake? Yes, I'm wearing my We Have Connor Bedard and You Don't t-shirt. Just for the trolls who were saying that we weren't going to take Bedard. Bedard wasn't going to come to us if we drafted him. So this is for those my friends who thought that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, it should be a fun day. Do I have the Chicago Kyle from Chicago tee? Yes, I do. I actually have the Kyle from Chicago t-shirt. I wore that yesterday, so I couldn't wear it again. It's in the wash right now. So I'm wearing my We Have Connor Bedard and You Don't one. Salty Wings and Abs fan. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Ryan just drinking those tears of sad other 31 fan bases thinking Bedard would not come here. Ryan. But yeah, let's talk about the DeBrincat trade that happened last night and now over a year ago. You know what? How about this? Let me pull up the video I made 1 year ago, 3 days ago. I can pull that up right away if it will load. The reason why Bedard has not signed yet, it's because he's still 17 years old. He needs to be 18 to officially sign his ELC. he will be turning 18 just in a few days, actually. So he will turn, he probably right on his birthday, he'll get his first NHL contract. No, it's the summer of Kyle from Chicago, not summer of Iserman. I'm sorry, Salty Winks and Avs fan. So I'm going to pull up my original video I made a year ago. How I talked, what I thought with the DeBrincat trade we made a year ago. And I will be one to say, in that time, I was livid. I was I was really ticked off. So I will bring up that video in a few moments, and then we could go ahead and talk about the there it is. We could talk about what's going on in the new DeBrincat trade that occurred last night. So let me get this all situated. So here we are a year ago on uh, it's
Well, it's officially the dark days of the Chicago Blackhawks. Why? Well, Kyle Davidson, current GM of the Chicago Blackhawks, may have made one of the worst trades in Blackhawks history. On draft day 2022. What happened? We all knew it. Hawks are taking interest
video
on
was
Alex
8 minutes
DeBrincat
long.
this
And yes,
offseason
I
on
was
trade.
I was
Well,
livid that
Davidson
day when that happened.
makes a
But
trade
now
on Alex DeBrincat for the draft to get themselves into the first round of the NHL draft for this year. Okay, what team are we trading for? Is it New Jersey for that second overall pick and maybe a prospect
thanks,
or two?
Trevor, and welcome to the stream,
Is
bud.
it
It's good to see you.
Seattle with their fourth overall pick? Well, it was neither of them. The Hawks traded Alex DeBrincat to
By
the
the way,
Ottawa
guys, if you have
Senators for
threads,
the
you can follow me on
Senators
threads at Windy
2022
City Hockey.
first round pick at number 7th overall. That is one pick below
I know
what the Hawks
I
would
will
have
get
been
into this
selecting
in a few
if they
moments
didn't make
because
this Steph
I'm
Jones trade
basically
a
eating my
year
words
ago.
after I said this.
This trade
Made
will
this
and
video
probably
over a
should
year ago
be
now.
viewed as one of the worst trades and most regrettable trades in Blackhawks history. You just traded away a 24-year-old, two-time 40-goal scorer who could have been a 50-goal scorer if the season wasn't a 56-game season 2 seasons ago, because he was on pace to doing so. Kyle Davidson, current GM of the Chicago Blackhawks, trades to the Ottawa Senators Alex DeBrincat for the 7th overall pick, the 39th overall selection, and the 2024
But guys,
Ottawa
I will add to this by
third
talking
round
through this
pick.
video I made a
That's
year
it.
ago.
That's the
The Hawks
return
won both
for a
trades now
two-time
because
40
DeBrincat's
goal
no longer
scorer.
with Ottawa.
Those
Ottawa
don't
got less
grow on
in return
trees. I'm sorry.
than what the Hawks got
People
for
may like
DeBrincat
Kyle
over a
Davidson,
year ago.
but what he did
And we'll
today
add to it
is
in a few
going to
moments.
put this team further into the dark days. He thinks this team could be back to contention in 5 years. Think differently. This team could be back in contention and a whole lot longer than that because our prospect pool is weak. The team
Now we have one of the
may
best
have just
prospect pools in the
said,
NHL.
they may have basically said goodbye to Alex DeBrincat. They with that they could just say goodbye to Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews, and we have nothing. And maybe throw in Seth Jones. Will he want to be on this team for 8 years of probably constant losing? Probably not. This team screwed up royally. One of my most recent videos, I even talked about it. Why it will be stupid to trade Alex DeBrincat. You're not going to get the return that of value of what DeBrincat's worth. And what happened? The Hawks don't get the return in the value that DeBrincat's worth. If you're able to get 2 first-round picks and 2 NHL ready players for Brandon Hagel, you should be able to get at least 2 first-round picks, a high-end caliber prospect, and more.
That's
for
where I
Alex
was at back
DeBrincat.
then.
Kyle Davidson, you completely failed on this trade, and you better make it up in this draft because holy
God, my video
crap!
quality has
How do you
improved
just pull the
by
trigger
a lot.
on a trade this bad? I get it, we're in a top 10 position in the draft, but you're not guaranteed what you're guaranteed with Alex DeBrincat. There's no guarantees with draft picks. There's guarantees in what's proven in players you already have. And well, you royally screwed this one, Kyle Davidson. Down in the comments down below, I'm expecting to hear you guys very angry about what the hell Kyle Davidson's thinking, because this
I was
might go
livid
down as
that
one of
day.
the worst trades in Blackhawks history. Who knows with the prospect we draft with that 7th overall pick? Because if he turns out to be a bona fide star, who knows? But it's still up in air. You're rolling dice and you're betting on a draft pick now because you just traded away arguably your top player on your team for
Guys, help
not
me
much.
hit 1,000 subscribers
And
as we're
what is
only
Patrick Kane,
just
Jonathan
a
Toews, and Seth
few
Jones going to think about
subscribers
this after
away.
seeing this return? I have a feeling we're in for a long one. This is the dark days of the Chicago Blackhawks. It could be worse than the 96.
We're
The
only at
99 to pretty much
989
Chicago
subscribers.
Blackhawks
Let's reach
and how they were building
1,000
a team.
subscribers
Because
tonight,
how long
guys.
it took the Hawks then, I have a feeling we're in for a long haul this time around. Because we don't have the goaltending. We don't have the forwards now. We don't have the scoring. And this could be the longest dark days of Chicago Blackhawks history. So down in the comments
I know
down
what you're
below,
talking
I
about.
want to hear what
Welcome
your
to the
thoughts were
stream,
on
by the
this
way. That's
terrible
actually my
trade
favorite
and what
Blackhawks
you
jersey
think
of all time.
and how long it's going to take Kyle Davidson to fix this mess that Stan Bowman created and that basically Davidson added to by trading DeBrincat for just 1 first-round pick and a second and a third in 2 years. So thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I have a feeling I'm going to be very busy tonight, so get ready for some content because there will be a video after the draft tonight on if the Hawks manage making more moves and getting into the draft, and after we take a look at the prospects the Hawks draft after tonight in the first round.
And I made quite a bit of videos after that day.
Package their 3 second-round picks now to get into the move into the first round again. Do it because you need some star talent, and well, frankly, this is going to be a rough rebuild. So thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Make sure to leave the notifications on because we're in for a long one. And most of all, what are you thinking, Kyle Davidson? And the dark days are upon us, and let's go Hawks.
And that was over 1 year ago on July 7th of 2022. The Hawks made a trade involving Alex DeBrincat to the Ottawa Senators for a 7th overall pick, a second round pick, and a third round pick yet to be made. And well, the Hawks won the trade a year later. Kevin Korchinski, who we drafted at 7th overall with that pick, is proving to be a star young defenseman up in the pipeline. The Hawks also drafted Paul Lewinsky as well from one of the draft picks the Hawks acquired for DeBrincat. And Lewinsky's developing well into a good prospect. The third round pick is yet to be made, and that's for next year's draft. But there's more to it. Ottawa got 1 year of Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat had a down season in Ottawa. He's a goal scorer. He didn't put up as many goals as he normally does. He got traded because he did not want to be in Ottawa last night to his hometown team, the Detroit Red Wings, for a first round pick that has conditions to it. Dominic Kubalik, a low end prospect, and I believe it was a fourth rounder. If I'm mistaken, please let me know. But the two key pieces going back to Ottawa is a first round with conditions that Detroit has control on, and a player like Dominic Kubalik. Yes, former Blackhawk Dominic Kubalik was traded for former Blackhawk Alex DeBrincat last night. DeBrincat did sign a 4-year deal with the Detroit last night. He wanted an 8-year deal. Apparently, he may have been offered an 8x8 from Ottawa, but did not want to sign it, and he ended up wanting to go to Detroit, got traded there, and signed a $4-year deal for just under $8 million. So, in my opinion, Hawks won both the DeBrincat trades within 1 year of each other. Korchinski's looking to be one of our best prospects in the pipeline, especially on that blue line. He is our number one defensive prospect, and it's looking to be likely he could make his NHL debut this season. Do I want to see Korchinski make it to get sent back down to the juniors for one more season? Potentially. He's not old enough to play in the AHL, but it's because of the stupid CHL NHL ruling where a player under the age of 20 cannot play in the AHL if their rights are owned by a CHL team. So he would not be able to be sent down to Rockford, which sucks. I personally think a year in Rockford will be more beneficial for Korchinski, but it doesn't look like that can happen. So the Hawks may give him his 9-game tryout, see how he is, and those 9 games. And if he plays well and makes a difficult decision for the Hawks, then they may just keep him up in Chicago full time. And that's where I'm at with that. Thoughts on Hawks goaltending? Are you talking about for our starting goalies for next year? I will get into that in a second. Yes, I did see Philip Zadina. It did sign with the Sharks. That's a good pickup by San Jose. Tyler Benson signed with the Silver Knights on a AHL deal. Okay. So for Blackhawk goaltending, if you're wanting to know for goaltending tandem in the NHL for next season. That will be Peter Mrazek with should be Arvid Soderblom. Soderblom and should potentially be ready. In my opinion, Soderblom's ready to be the backup next year to start, and then they could potentially make a competition between Soderblom and Mrazek. Let's be honest, Mrazek does get injured a lot. So we could see a chance where Soderblom ends up stealing the number one man spot in net, which would be nice to see if Mrazek does get injured, because we do know that does occur a lot with Mrazek. So we'll see how that goes. I like Soderblom. He's still not our top goalie prospect in the system. That, in my opinion, belongs to Drew Comesso and maybe Adam Guyon, who we drafted in the second round of this year's draft. But Soderblom's a solid goaltender, and I really do like him as a goalie for this upcoming season. Hey, Drive, how are you? Blackhawk prospect news: Liam Gordman has transferred to UMass from Princeton. Okay. What do we do with Dominic Bass? I really don't know. But yeah, the Hawks and goaltending might be one of our weaker points of this season, because Soderblom's untested. He did play last season with the Hawks, just didn't have what it took to fully stay in net full time all of last year, because he got peppered a lot last season in net when he was up with the Hawks. And hell, down in Rockford, he had a rough season as well, but apparently may have been injured, and that's what caused it. He also was dealing with a bad team up front of him in Chicago, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. When I saw the name Marcel, I thought it was a joke until I looked it up on the NHL app. Ah, Marcel. I really love that prospect name, and he's a funny guy, man. I really like Marcel. So I really hope he does make it, have a chance to make the NHL one of these days, because I would love to see Marcel succeed. Just knowing how funny the guy is, how big he is, it, it would be a good story for Marcel to make the NHL. Decent goalie, but we already have too many now. Maybe trade his rights, take rights away from for a late pick or future considerations. Maybe he signs an AHL contract with the Ice Hogs, but rights expired. I don't know about that. I really, they probably won't keep him around at that point. So I could see them trading his rights. How many points do I think Reichel gets? 55 to 60 points for Lucas Reichel. I think that's a fair number to say for Reichel. 55 to 60 points. Marcel also a teammate. Yeah, he is also a teammate to Sammy Savoy. I love Sammy. He's one of my favorite prospects in the system. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Andrew Shaw with some grit to himself, and the size on Sammy is really reminding me of Andrew Shaw. So I really do like Savoy, and him being a teammate with Marcel, it's actually cool to see. Also, I would not mind getting either Sammy Savoy or a Marcel jersey from Gatineau, because their jerseys are so nice. So let's see where we're at in the subscriber ranks. Guys, we're only 11 subscribers away from hitting 1,000. Please help me out by sending the link out to one of your friends who may not be subscribed to us, or try and get someone you know that isn't subscribed and let them know about the channel, and just have them just come by and subscribe and help us out reach that goal, as we're only 11 away from 1,000 subscribers, and just under 2 days away from hitting the 5-year anniversary of Windy City Hawkey. Marcel had 6 points in the World Juniors and 7 World Juniors games. That's interesting. Yeah, he did have a good point production in the Worlds. So he could have something for himself to get into the ranks. When does the Blackhawks training camp start? Usually training camp doesn't start until September, Ryan. Like 2 weeks, around the first week of September is when we start seeing training camps start up. There will be the prospect showcase that would occur up in Minnesota this year. I believe St. Louis may have entered our prospect showcase with the Wild, so maybe we see Connor Bedard play in that. Don't know if the Hawks want to risk playing Bedard in that little prospect showcase, because he is our best prospect, and Minnesota has been known to target our top prospects in those showcases. I don't put that like as in I'm saying they are known to target, but it seems like the last 3 prospect showcases the Hawks have been in, a Wild prospect has injured one of our top prospects in the showcase. That's what I'm trying to say. What happened to Galvis? We just let him walk and give up him so much potential, and did great with his call-ups. Yeah, Galvis. The Hawks let Galvis walk free agent, and he signed with a team over in Europe because I think Galvis knew and was seeing the picture on the wall that he's dropped in the depth charts of the Blackhawks. So the Hawks may have just said, let's try and get you an opportunity to be a prospect somewhere else, or give you playing time professionally, more minutes. And he went over to Europe, and maybe down the line we get back Galvis. Don't know about that. Tepley was really not good at all this year, so I kind of saw that happening with Tepley. Yes, Jake. The last 3 prospect showcases between the Hawks and Wild, Wild prospect has injured one of our prospects in it. Kirby Doc got injured in one against the Wild where he had a concussion. Lucas Reichel last year got injured in a game versus the Wild prospects in Chicago. Colton Doc last year also got injured. And it just feels like injuries have happened against the Wild prospects a lot. Oliver Moore saw some clips. He has speed. Oh, yeah. Moore, I really like. I wonder with Moore if he's going to be a one and done in college. He's maybe after this season of college, he sees where his game's at. The Hawks see where his game at. And maybe he's with the Hawks at the end of the season after his college season because how much we saw of Oliver Moore in the video the Hawks put together last night makes me really think Moore could be ready for the NHL sooner than what we could think. Where do I see Jalen Lipin for development playing AHL or ECHL? I see Lipin probably play a mixture of ECHL and AHL, but more AHL side. Moore took Moore took track in high school. He was the best skater in the draft, and man, I was so glad he dropped to us at the. I will say this at the Blackhawks draft party. I didn't realize Moore dropped to us. I was like, okay, let's see about drafting Gabe Perreault. And because I thought Moore was drafted like a few picks already, because he was projected to go in the top 10 of the draft, and somehow he dropped to us. So I was like, so give me Gabe Perreault. I see you still on the board. I would not mind Gabe Perreault. But then I heard Davidson at the draft party draft Oliver Moore, and I was like, we got him? I was honestly super excited we got Oliver Moore. Is Moore a better skater than McDavid? I don't know about that, Ryan, but Moore is a fast player and centerman to be one to watch out for. Nick, why do you think he fell in the draft? I think teams has overlooked Oliver Moore a little bit, and maybe because he's going to college for a year, maybe teams wanted him to be ready for the NHL next season, which that's a little bit of a reach. So I was okay with Moore coming to the Hawks. Do you think or hope Rocco Grimaldi gets signed with the Hawks since he has been unreal in the AHL for the Ice Hogs, also has so much NHL experience and still very effective player? I can see it, but I don't think it's going to happen, Brian. Realistically, of a player I can see getting signed by the Hawks potentially would be a uh right hand shot defenseman, and the one I would not mind the Hawks trying to target. I get it, he will be on LTIR for a little bit, but that doesn't affect the Hawks in any way. Maybe go after a player like Ethan Bear. I would really like Ethan Bear in a Blackhawk uniform. Um, maybe Kale Foot as well. Those are the two right hand shots I would like to see the Hawks go after. But I get it. You were saying Rocco Grimaldi, but I don't think the Hawks will sign him, to be quite honest. I would like them to sign him to another deal with the Ice Hogs, but I don't think it's going to happen. Moore is just really explosive. Yeah, he is. He's very fast. He gets his nose to the puck very quick, and he has an eye for a good. He has a good shot as well. So I'm really like Oliver Moore as a prospect, and I'm glad he is with the Hawks. I heard reports from scouts and stuff saying Moore is the fastest skater in the draft, but not necessarily a great overall skater. No, I know what you're trying to say there, but he is one of the better skaters that was in the draft. He knows how to get to the puck pretty good. Knows he doesn't fall like Blackwell does all the time, but it's a he's a good prospect to work with, if you see where I'm coming at. His speed is does catch up a little bit to him too fast, but he can work on that. It does not take him long to get up to full speed. No, it doesn't take him long to get to full speed at all, and that's awesome to see. Guys, let's see where we're at in subscriber count. Only 11 subscribers away from 1,000, guys. Let's try and do it. Nazer is still good too. He just got injured last year and got better towards the end. Yes, Frank Nazer. Now going to probably be looked upon as the Michigan Wolverines top winger to put up the points next season. Nazer could be ready after this season for NHL, I feel like. But Nazer, I feel like give him a full year of college hockey under his belt because he missed the majority of last year with his injury he had. I think Nazer could be ready for NHL at the end of this college season, maybe starting next year, if he wanted to go into the NHL after sign a professional contract afterwards. I don't see them going after Bodwild, to be quite honest. Sam Renzel has had a quiet year, probably overshadowed by Nazer and Kurtinski. Renzel was always going to be a project. This year he will be going into his first year of college hockey, and he will be roommating up with 19th overall selection of this year's draft, and Oliver Moore. Sam Renzel and Oliver Moore will be roommates in college this season. So maybe a little Blackhawk connection in their dorm room will be beneficial for the two. Yeah. I just, the thing with the Hawks, I really hope they go after someone that's younger, on the younger side for the defense, if they do want to sign a right hand shot defenseman. And I'm really think either Ethan Bear or Kel Foot would be a solid pickup. Next year's draft is very defensive heavy. Do you have a prospect in mind you want the Hawks to draft? I don't have any prospects in mind at this point. Main reason is we just got finished with this year's draft and I need a break from really thinking ahead into a draft right now, because that's really what I was doing all of this past season. It was honestly, that was the worst. This season was the most difficult season to watch all 82 games of the Blackhawks, just because in the back of my mind, I know we are going to either lose, and if we win, it's going to be a complete upset win, or it was going to detriment the chances of winning the draft lottery. Like the night the Hawks beat the Penguins for the second to last game of the season, I realistically thought the Hawks uh, screwed themselves from winning Connor Bedard. You could actually see how I felt by my video I made that night, if you go back to watching that. So I really need a break from looking at prospects. Any word on Kurashev? Khrushchev will be going to arbitration here in the next, I believe his arbitration hearing is next week, if I'm not mistaken. And I could still see the Hawks getting him signed before the arbitration hearing, because the way Kyle really sounded like, it sounded like they could get something done in the next pretty soon for Khrushchev. Khrushchev's one of my favorite players on the team right now. One player I wouldn't mind getting a jersey of. So I can see the Hawks getting a deal done for Khrushchev. Maybe it happens tomorrow. Maybe it happens like on the 11th hour, right before the arbitration hearing. They get a deal done and make it so for the Hawks having Khrushchev around. I really think it's not going to take it. I don't think they are going to need the arbitration hearing. But if they do need it, that's the right one of the rights Khrushchev has to his contract. He is able to go to arbitration for a contract. I guess Chicago wins. Yes, we talked about that earlier, Leaf fan, about the Alex DeBrincat trades tree at this point. So it is the 20th, Brian, so it's next Thursday, not this Thursday, but the following. At this point, I don't see him ever signing with the Hawks. Brian, really, at this point, I really can't see him ever signing with the Hawks, and it doesn't. He doesn't. Him never signing with the team, and if he wants to stay in the KHL the rest of his career, he stays in the KHL the rest of his career. I just don't see him coming to the NHL at this point. So, guys, do you know what college Moore will be attending? Minnesota's. It's either Minnesota Duluth or Minnesota. Hang on. He's going to the University of Minnesota. Yes, Moore will be attending the University of Minnesota. I just needed to verify if it was University of Minnesota or Minnesota Duluth. I couldn't remember exactly. But guys, it's already at 45 minutes into the stream. I'm going to need to cut off the stream here in a few moments. I want to say thank you for all you guys who was able to come by the stream. It was lots of fun. If you know anyone looking for Blackhawks content on YouTube, send them to Windy City Hockey to help us reach 1,000 subscribers. I will really love it if you guys can help us, because without you, the channel would not be a thing. And so, to finish this thing off here, I want to say thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Stay tuned for Wednesday, because it's the 5th anniversary of the channel. And we may have a video out tomorrow. Maybe some news comes out, but we'll see. And thank you again, guys. And most of all, let's go